Hey everyone, it's Sphinx Scream here,
And this is Arlen Spectorwick.
and we are the S&A Prickly Podcast.
Welcome to our first podcast. Today's topic will be technology and the good and bad effects it has on humanity.
I think to focus more on the good effects, because technology is awesome.
Well, I will be focusing more on the bad effects, even though I will recognize there is good. Everything comes in balance. We will be drawing comparisons not from only from the real world, but from a book called Ubik, published around the 1950s.
Yeah, which of course means they were all futuristic, and none of it was realistic, really.
Although a lot of it is quite close to what we have today.
Well, a lot of relationship to technology.
Yes. The first topic we should be bringing up is technology's effects on mental health.
Ooh, that's a good one to start with. Um, It can be bad, I will say this, because of cyberbullying and all that. However, it also provides so much useful information for us.
And I'll admit that is true. A lot of the downsides, though, with technology's advancements, especially with Photoshop and other programs like that, is not only cyberbullying, but then you get very destructive, poor body images. People are trying to attain bodies they can never get, or they'll see them and feel extremely bad about their own.
Yeah, but think about Ubik. They probably have like some sort of robot therapist thingy that can help people not when other people can't help them.
Fair enough. And with the progression of technology, stuff like Photoshop has gotten much more advanced, much more used. But I will admit, with the advancement of technology, it has also increased the ways of getting in touch with people who can help you with mental problems.
But we'll get back to that later.
Yes. Another topic would be socially, how we act socially and how we communicate.
Now, this is where technology really shines for us, Arlen. Um, with technology, we're able to communicate around the world. Like some stuff, if we had technology in the past with I think it was the Civil War,
No,
the Founder War thingy,
Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War. Well, if we had technology back then, hundreds of people wouldn't die when we said when England said they surrendered, but it took a few days to get the message.
Yeah, but it's in a sense made it lazier or to a point of we don't communicate the same. A lot of people used to either communicate face to face or in letters, and it was a very long, drawn out. It wasn't just a quick LOL or anything like that. It was proper writing, which they try to teach us in school. And we've kind of devolved down to quick text, not using proper grammar almost in anything, and rarely actually talking face to face or even hearing the other person's voice.
Well, let me put it this way: when did we ever speak in proper grammar? Run-on sentences.
Fair enough. But the point was, it was different, and our vocabulary has changed from the way we communicate.
I suppose, but in Ubik, you could use video phones. You could talk to face to someone, but it would be just like a quick, short conversation. It would be a face to face conversation, except that person's not really there.
Yeah. And that technology does exist, and we do use it, but
FaceTime.
it's used not exactly in the most appropriate way at all times,
Well,
or even in a correct way.
that's expected. We're humans.
Fair enough. Um, did you have anything more to say on this topic?
Well, also, with communication, it's so. Okay, I see what you're saying. It can be inappropriate, but like I said before, it can be life saving. 911. What's your emergency? they can be there and they know within minutes. When before you'd have to rely on a word, and people, yeah, with technology has come so far to help us.
Fair enough. And then you get into physical uses, and one of the prime examples of that in Ubik is almost everything in their lives is automated. Even the workers are automated. And even nowadays, so much of our life now, we don't have to worry about, we don't have to do it, we don't have to be able to do it because there's something to do it for us.
Now admit that has gotten us a bit lazy. However, there's still stuff that needs a human touch. For example, parenting. And let's use another example that he has brought to my attention of parenting. What was that one book with the...
I do not remember the name. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, the general gist of the story he told me of it was two children got eaten alive by lions from a simulation.
The computer parented them, and then when the parents tried to actually parent, they wouldn't listen, so the parents just locked them in a simulation where they were eaten by a lion.
I know that wasn't the parents' intentions.
Yeah. Another book written around the same period as Ubik.
Yeah. What is with the past and writing futuristic books?
I think they had high or very low hopes for the future. Or simultaneously both.
That's true.
But it also gets to the point of now we have self-driving cars and stuff like that. Stuff we rely on to make a conscious decision of what's right and what's wrong. And brought to life by a test that had been put out on the internet a few years ago where you had to take the situation in the car and admittedly most humans could barely make the decision. And a lot of it was save the passenger or save the pedestrian. And while that was a problem for humans, it's scary to think that you'd be letting the car make that decision at some point.
I honestly think that. Okay, I agree. However, it also puts less psychological damage on us because we didn't make that decision. Something else did.
Again, another fair point. And then there's the over reliance on technology. As demonstrated in Ubik, a bit more of a drastic example would be as the world around him starts deteriorating, he doesn't know how to use a staircase. He thinks once he goes down, there's no way of him getting back up because he's so used to technology doing this for him.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one.
And while that is an extreme example, we are somewhat dependent on technology, from the numbers saved in our cell phones to a lot of our everyday things. A lot of people can barely go a day without their phone.
There's a reason for that, though. Phones are being implemented such a big time in this world that they're necessary at this point. And sure, we've become slightly dependent, but it's also making life easier for us. We can get job calls and communicate easier about like last minute items when something goes wrong.
Yeah. And I'll also admit technology is great to have, but it's also nice knowing how to do stuff for yourself, and even in some cases using older technology. A prime example would be at the school musical that we had a few weeks ago. The second night of the show, everything got shut down because of a power surge. The only thing we didn't have to reboot through a computer was our spotlights. Those were the only reason we were able to continue. Everything else had a computer that had to be rebooted. We had to wait for the technology to get back up so we could continue with the rest of it.
Yeah, and I was there to witness that.
And so, while technology, this is both a prime example of bad and good. Because thankfully, we knew how to use the older technology to use it, but we were still using a form of technology.
Yes. And technology, that's another thing technology is good for. Entertainment.
Yes. But outside of our daily lives, outside of entertainment, you have technology used for war. And because of certain wars, like the Cold War with Russia, it was forcefully rapid growth on technology because of the space race, race to make nuclear weaponry to keep the other one from killing each other or for killing us.
The even missile crisis.
Yeah. Technology has been used in such violent ways as a means to figure out how to kill people the quickest. But
technology has also been able to save us.
Yes.
Without technology, okay, security cameras. We can see when people are breaking in. When before we just came home and we had no idea. And also technology that will automatically call the police when you tell it to.
Sure. And while not everything from the war aspect was bad, again, the space race was a prime example where it was a race to get technology to get us to the moon. And a feat some people never thought would be attainable by humans.
Now look at us.
So,
there are pros and there are cons.
What we're kind of trying to say here is that everything must be taken in strides. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. You have to remember, you have to balance them out for us to be able to properly use it. Because when you don't, sadly, humanity tends to lean towards the darker side of things.
However, if you do, we have great lives and great responsibilities. We have so much available at our fingertips. So don't give up on technology. Just tone it down a little.
Exactly.
Like, even I, one who loves technology, I will go on walks and get outside for fresh air to stay healthy.
Yeah. I build computers. I build pieces of technology that do a lot, but everything in a stride. There's days and weeks I won't touch the computer because I can taken in a stride and taken done properly. Technology isn't detrimental and can be quite helpful.
Yeah. But it can be self-destructive as well.
Which is a very sad thing. Well, this is Arlen.
And this is Sphinx.
Signing off. Bye.
Thanks for watching.